You want it closer? Okay. Good evening. I hope everyone had a fantastic Sunday. We're back with Capturing Your Spouse. This is session 4. And well, we're going to see how tonight goes. We may actually end up doing one more just because of some stuff that's come up. But we're going to find out.
What's up? Happy Sunday! Hey, Diane. I see Diane Mead is on.
Right.
Hey, beautiful.
Hello. We miss ya. Is it cold in California too?
Yeah, Diane, how was your weather over there, girlfriend? We're kind of missing it. I miss the beach, but I don't miss the traffic, honey. Tracy Zushnitz on. Trace, hi, girl.
Jason Chrome.
Jason
Good to see you,
Chrome.
brother.
Is your beautiful wife on with you, Jason? Throw us a comment and tell us. Yay! So Facebook is letting everyone know that we're live, and I love that. Thank you so much, Facebook.
Awesome. Once again, I think we're going to start tonight by answering a bunch of the questions. Hey, Jeanette. Hey, Rebecca. Good to see you again. We're going to start tonight by answering a bunch of the questions that got asked. Also, if you haven't seen sessions 1 through 3, I highly recommend you watch those before you watch this one. So if you're joining us for the first time, please, well, it's up to you, but I would recommend you go watch the first 3. That will help you a lot because we're going to reference things from those 3.
Yes.
And I don't want to go back and explain them again, so that would be good. Once again, just to let everybody know, we are not marriage counselors. We are just people who've been through some stuff, and we have some wise counsel in our lives that we have learned from. And we are talking about topics that are not talked about enough. So that is why we're doing this. Hello, Renee. You message me later, Weston. All right. I have to apologize. I missed one of the questions that was asked from session 2, so we're going to answer it tonight to the best of our ability.
Doesn't he look handsome, by the way? This is different. This is outside of Brad's box, the color. Doesn't he look nice? If you think that he looks nice wearing this color, can you give me the thumbs up? Because, I mean, I think sometimes people, they feel kind of funny until their friends say, oh my gosh, it looks nice on you. So if you like it, don't lie, but if you like it, kind of brings out the eyes, hey?
I'm doing all kinds of uncomfortable stuff today.
All kinds.
Like tanning.
Yes, he went tanning because we're going on a cruise.
Wearing a green shirt. This is, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
The world must be close to ending.
I'm a good influence.
But someone asked a question.
Very emerald.
I look like a leprechaun boss. Thanks. Thanks, Weston.
I'm going to kill you.
We had a woman named Rose ask a question in session 2. She said, I'm 63. Is there any hope for me? That's a great question. That's a great question. I understand that a lot of people can think that way, and I haven't actually sat down to think about what in society has been teaching us that, but it seems to be a common belief that I'm now too old to contribute. I'm now too old to find a spouse or a worthy partner, or I'm too old to get married again. I see a lot of older people who are shacking up, which we're going to talk about tonight.
Ouch.
Without getting married. Why? Because they've already been through it all already, and I do it again. But there is absolutely hope when you are 60 and older. Well, I mean, what changes? Nothing has changed. Your just list is going to be a little different, right? Your list, you're going to have that much more experience, that much more wisdom when you create your list. And your pool of people you're shopping in, essentially, is going to be vastly different from the rest. Or, I mean, maybe you're a 63-year-old who likes 25-year-old men. That's okay, too. There are 25-year-old men who like older women. you know what? You're still gonna make your list. Um,
Story. May I?
yes.
Great. So when Rose asked that question, I instantaneously thought of my grandpa. My father's father, so my grandpa Haas, married for many, many, many years, successful in business, entrepreneur, had a company. However, his wife, my grandmother, passed away. And I don't know if it's just the years that they grew up in or what it was, but my grandma had such a powerful role in their home. Such an amazing woman. She truly pinched pennies, did the yard sale stuff, did so much to build their empire as a couple, to build their family financially, to create amazing environment for us kids to be in. She was crafty. She was just the coolest lady. And when she passed away, it was as if my grandpa was like just lost. So my grandpa would go on these like 30-mile bike rides around. You know, he was like riding his bike around, and he told me, we were very close. He told me that when my grandma passed away, it was like he was mentally jogging. Okay, who are my friends? Where can I go to pass the time during the day? Because he was divorced. And he said that he would just ride his bike around, retired, had money, you know, just trying to find some connection. And he said, after, you know, a couple months of this, your friends get sick of you. And it broke my heart to think of my grandpa, who was such a man, to feel that alone, or to feel like he was a nuisance to his friends. So he mentally jogged again, and he remembered back when he and my grandma Haas were married, there was another couple that they would hang out with, both married couples, and she was also a widower. And so one day on his bike ride, he stopped over to her house. Cute, so cute. And she answered in her bathrobe with her hair up in a freaking towel, and was like, "Jim, what are you doing? Get in here." And so she invited him in for tea, and they got married. And actually, when my grandma died, my grandma Haas, when she died, my grandpa called this woman, and it was like his safe place. He said, "Betty, Millie died," you know, and because of that common connection, and because they had a friendship years before, Brad talked about dating your friends, dating people that you already kind of know. You know, that was just a safe place for my grandpa to go to, and they had history. She knew he was trustworthy. She knew he was a man. You know, my grandma told me that the night that my grandpa called her, his options that night was that he was either going to go get a gun and end it all, or he was going to call Betty. And that woman, I don't care what anybody says about her, the woman literally saved his life, because he became her safe place. They were in their freaking 60s by then. You have to think about that. In their 60s, and they spent years together, possibly even 70s, because I'd have to double check their age. But they spent the last years of my grandpa's life together. They moved in together. It was charming. They had fun together. They shopped together. They vacationed together. They traveled together. And they were hilarious to be around, because they just cracked jokes and played cards and had us over for dinner. You know what I'm saying? So I just instantaneously when that came up, I just thought of my grandpa, and I thought, you know, if he hadn't reached out and found that new relationship, I could have had 2 dead grandparents. Instead, he looked for love, and he found it, and they had many years together. So no, I don't think it's too late. I think people in their 80s can get married. Go for it. Go for it.
I should have probably answered the question first saying, if you've been single for 63 years, then yeah, there's still hope, but it sounds like there's a lot of work you got to do first.
Good point.
Because if you've been single for 63 years, that means you've got 63 years of some sort of habits that are not attractive to the opposite sex.
Yeah, or 60 some years of feeling fiercely independent, and that can be emasculating to a man if you're just like, I can do it myself.
But if that's not the case, then
Go for it, girl.
yeah. I mean, actually, Rose, if I'm going to see you in 2 weeks in Orlando, there's a man about your age who told me he was looking for somebody.
Whoop, whoop.
So you come up and say hi to me, and I will see what I can do.
Yeah, to
But-
at least make the connection, and you guys can go from there. How fun!
I see a couple people on here who I haven't seen before. You're welcome to join us. I'm excited to have you here, but I would highly recommend, highly recommend you go watch the first 3 sessions before we get to this one, because if you have not watched them, this one might not
Might.
make you very happy with us.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna need the first 3 are gonna iron out some stuff
Yeah.
for all of this. So if you have not watched the first 3, I highly recommend you go watch them before then. Otherwise, enjoy or don't. It's not gonna change the message. It's not gonna change how much we love you. We're glad you're here.
Yay!
The last one got some really good questions going. Based on, I got one here. Do men get intimidated by women who make more money than them? And absolutely, men get intimidated by women who make more money than them. However, if you are currently dating a man who's intimidated by the fact that you make more money than him, he's probably not right for you.
Right.
Because there should be nothing that stops you from making how much you want to make. Not even a guy or a girl. That's not fair. That means they don't support your goals.
That's good.
They're not they're not walking the same direction as you,
That's good.
right? And I mean,